And we're back. It's Sunday and it's time for another episode of Record Collecting with a Quill. Last week we spoke about some of my favorite album covers, and I also promised that with this week we'd talk about some bad album covers, or I wouldn't say bad really, but more in the lines of what were they thinking when they made it. And I found some interesting stuff that I will show you. But before we start, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's the Quill Sweden. Just press the little button down below and also hit that little notice bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. I also got to say thanks to everyone who commented on the last episode. Continue to do so. I really enjoy hearing or reading your comments. It's always interesting, and I learn a lot of stuff along the way, so continue to do so. So let's start. First one. Or before we start, I must say, I'm not judging the album musically, because some of the albums I found are some of my favorite albums, but we're discussing the covers, so don't get like you're crazy. No, I'm not, or I'm not the one to decide that. First one, this one, Weather Report, Heavy Weather. This is an album I've loved for a long time. Actually, the first time I heard it, I must have been something like 14 or 15. I actually went to the library, a local library, and they had this section of vinyl albums that you could borrow, or you could sit in the library and listen to. And so you took the album cover, it was empty, and you went to the counter, and they put the album on, and you got some headphones, and you could go sit in a cozy chair and listen to an album. And for some reason I picked this one out, and I don't know, maybe it was the cover that appealed to me somehow, but it is a weird cover, isn't it? I wonder, when they were sitting around, how we have this great album, and when, I mean, such a great band, Joe Zawinul, you have Jaco Pastorius and everyone on this one. It's a fantastic album. Great music. You have some really strong tracks, Birdland, Teen Town. But the idea for the cover, we should have this hat on it's going to be the center of the cover, and we're going to have a volcano erupting, and we're going to have some lightnings, and we're going to have a skyline. And just for good measures, we're going to have a couple of leaves as well. Yeah, that'd be a good cover. I don't know, is it really a good cover? You let me know, but it is kind of weird, isn't it? But as I said, the music is fantastic, but the cover it's just weird, isn't it? Next one, American band called Sapphire. Was a band with Tommy Bolin. I've spoken about him earlier. Later started to play with James Gang and Deep Purple and as a solo artist. But this is the first band, his band from Colorado. And also one where it's the first album they made. They wanted to make an impact. Hey guys, why don't we have a bathroom on the cover? Kind of a sketch, more or less. We're just going to have a toilet and a tub, and we're going to have some colors as well. Yeah, that's a good cover. Is it? And also you have on the back, you have a door, and it says Sapphire, and you have the colors there as well. I don't know, it's just plain weird. I guess it's kind of typical for its time, but I mean, it would have been much better. You have the fold out here. It's a really nice cover of the band with a lot of attitude. It would have been a much better cover, if you ask me. The music is so-so. Tommy Bolin is quite young here, so he's not that fantastic guitarist he turned out to be, but it's enjoyable. But cover, it could have done better. Next one. Now I will probably get into trouble, but this one, and this is actually one of my favorite albums. It's Little Feet Sailing Shoes, but the cover, I don't know. You have a half-eaten cake on a tree swing, and you have what's it called now? A snail watching, and also you have here. I actually read up a little bit about the album cover. It's actually supposed to be Mick Jagger standing there, all dressed in I don't know, some kind of medieval suit or something. And also on the back, the painting continues. You have a wizard hiding there as well. It's an artist called Neon Park who did it, and it's supposed to be his take on the whole Hollywood scene. I don't know. I don't associate this with Hollywood in any way. But it's, I don't know. Little Feat has all their covers are to some extent kind of weird and surreal, so maybe it fits. I don't know, but I think it's an odd one. A cake on a tree swing. You don't. I don't buy that, but I buy the album because the music is fantastic. Next one falls in more in the category of pure laziness. It's this one. It's an album. I think it's supposed to be a Robin Trower, the British guitarist, a solo album, but it's with Bill Lorden, his drummer, and also Jack Bruce from Cream on bass. And if you know your alphabet, you know the initials. You get BLT as the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And I don't know, as I said, it's maybe just pure laziness. Oh, our initials are BLT. Why don't we have a sandwich on the cover? Yeah, really, is that a good idea to have a sandwich on your album cover? And if you look closely, the bacon seems almost like half cooked, so it's not appealing in any way either. It's not a sandwich I want to eat. So you could have done a lot better if you ask me. As I said, pure laziness, and the album is as I said, it's the early 80s. I guess Jack Bruce was not in a good place around that time, so it has some enjoyable moments. They're great musicians, all of them, but they've done better stuff, I must say, and also there's better album covers. Next one. Mark Farner, the guitarist and singer from Grand Funk Railroad, he in the mid 80s, around somewhere in the mid 80s, he turned born again Christian and made a couple of albums with a Christian theme, and more or less all songs are with a Christian theme. And this, I think this one is from '89. It's called Wake Up, and it's, if you listen to it lyrically, it's quite a heavy album. And he's preaching for all his as I said, he's preaching, and I wonder when they were sitting around, he have this really strong message he wants people to hear, and then they decide to have a half-peeled orange on the cover with a North American continent here. I wonder, like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's have a half-peeled orange on the cover with the North American continent. Yeah, that really goes with the message of the album. No, it doesn't. But it's not a good album. I bought it. I found it at a flea market for next to nothing, so I bought it. But it's one I played it once. I don't think I will play it again. And but if you want to listen to it, I think it is available on Spotify. So I'll put a few tracks on the Spotify playlist. But nah, not a good idea. And last one. Doesn't look so bad when you look at it this way. This is the band Banjojo Gun, and the album is called Jumping the Gun. You have four guys, the four guys in the band in bed. It's not that bad really, but when you fold it out, it turns worse. You have this really overweight woman flying up on the roof, and you also have this little small pig there watching her. And the guys in bed are actually watching her from down below. And that's just pure bad taste. And it actually gets worse when you look at the fold out. They have all the album credits written on her naked body, and that little pig is almost like making out with her. It's a shame, because it's actually a great album, and they were a really great band, but this album tanked, and I guess a lot of it had to do with the album cover, because a lot of the record stores didn't want to buy it or sell it just because of the cover. So a bad choice, guys. You could have done a lot better, because, as I said, the music is really good, and they made a live album after this one is called So Where's the Show. That's really good, so check that one out. But the cover, nah. You could have done a lot better, guys. So that was my, 6 picks for weird album covers. What suggestions do you have? Let me know in the comment section. I really enjoy reading whatever your suggestions are. There's quite a few stinkers out there. There's the classical obvious ones like Scorpions, Virgin Killers, and you have Blind Faith and all those albums, but there's a bunch of other weird stuff, so let me know your suggestions. And as usual, I will put a couple of tracks from each album here in the Spotify playlist, and you find a link down below, so check that one out as well. And also, so follow us on social media. It's the Quill Sweden. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. So check that out as well. So thanks for listening this week, and next week we will be back with another subject. I don't know what it will be that time. We'll just have to wait and see. So cheers for now. Bye.